We have read it. I don't know whether it makes sense to anyone. Certainly not to me. But of course, we like to know what you think. We have also seen Twitter posts from the campaign manager of the Labour Party, Osele Kobaze, threatening that the Labour Party candidate will not join the future town hall meetings organized by them by Arise Television because they violated early agreement reached. According to Abaze, they changed the goalpost in the middle of the game in allowing Governor Kowa, who is a vice presidential candidate, to take part in the campaign. And what meaning do we read into that? If the Labour Party candidate, who appears to be the only one currently engaging the Nigerian people, withdraws from future town hall meetings being organized by the Rise Television, is that the type of campaign that Nigeria intends to run? When do they actually want to engage the Nigerian people? Is it too early to start now to engage the people, to speak to them about their policies and manifestos, which is what these engagements was meant to be about? Or are they waiting for till maybe December, January, and February to start to engage with the Nigerian people, to speak to them, and to be properly interrogated? I think the era of running campaign, am I still being heard? I think the era of running a campaign of rallies, simply rallies and handing out, flyers, stickers, billboards is over. I think what Nigerians want to see is to be engaged, to take questions. Sorry, is anyone hearing me? Maziezo, am I being heard or am I speaking to myself? I want to confirm that my device is working. All right, I can see a thumbs up. That's fine. Okay, thank you very much. That's fine. Very good. All right, so I'm wondering actually, do Nigerian politicians realize that the era of, just having rallies, mounting billboards, distributing bags of rice is over? That Nigerians want to be engaged. Nigeria want to ask questions. Nigerians want to be told what each presidential candidate have in store for them. That is the era we are now. If not for anything, Twitter Spaces, Facebook, Twitter, we see candidates now engaging in these things, trying to convince especially the youths to support them. But if they refrain from coming to debates like these town hall debates, if it will be refusing to come again, what does that bode for the country as the election progresses? The Prince, thank you for indicating that you want to speak. Can we hear from you? Can you unmute yourself? The Prince? The Prince, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you very well. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Please, I just joined. Maybe you can review back the question. I just joined the yeah.
Okay, what basically we are saying is, as the heading indicates, the Tinubu.
Why is he dodging the debate?
Why is he dodging the debate? Not only has he not only did he not fail to attend yesterday, but we haven't actually seen much of him.
Even I think I watched a video like that on Twitter, and about this meeting of 18 where he organized a meeting. And though his speech was written by someone and reading it out to us to let us know his agenda in office, but asking him back the question of what he has written, my president to be can't answer a simple question. Someone is answering for him. Likewise, this debate of 18, why is he dodging it? Logically, the man is not fit to answer. He's not able, and then give out his purpose of being in that office. Candidate for that post, you should be able to like give us what you are going to do. Tell us what you can do. Tell us when you get to office, these are the things I'm going to do, not things that has been written, then later given to you to read out. That means this man is just there to like, okay, let me just be on seat so they can know I'm the president. Maybe you just want to be there to just have a record. Also I was the president without no vision, no mission of being there. You get?
Yeah, that's fine. So what you are saying is basically whether he's serious about actually engaging and actually campaigning, or whether he only wants to
Just
answer
make a
by,
name for himself. Yeah.
well, the Tinubu. So are you suggesting that Tinubu is not running to win?
No, I think he's running to win, but at the same time, he's running for his pocket. He's running for himself. He's not running for the betterment of the country, for the betterment of the people. Because I see no reason why you should dodge a debate that matters the most, that will show how capable you are to the people. Why are you dodging the debate? That means physically you are not fit to be there. Once you are being elected to be there, that means you won't put things in order. You won't be able to come out and address the nation.
Well, it's been widely. Okay, let's listen to others first, so that I wouldn't have to put words into the mouths of some of our intending speakers. Michael? Okay, Mazi is okay, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. It is actually sad at this point in time to note that a man who wants to be a president of a federal republic, please, Prince, can you mute, please? A man who wants to be a president of a federal republic is avoiding live interview and debate. Prince, can you mute, please? Thank you. So once when you look at it this way, people, and this is exactly the way I look at it. It's either that the man is not mentally sound, or that there is something, there is something that he's not well, or that he's not mentally sound. Reason being, and is very simple. How can it be that you had an MBA event in Lagos, the place you claimed to have discovered, like Columbus did? He never existed until he emerged. Suddenly, he disappears. And here comes again an event in Abuja. And this is a national assignment. 200 million people or more want to hear from you. He makes a choice to visit a birthday event of the father of a governor. For me and his team, that's a poor judgment. On one hand, why is he making that poor judgment? Or is he unable to engage with Nigerians? Is it that when Nigerians ask him questions, because you see that in that setting, you can see when Dino asked Peter Obi a question about the presidency and the vice, that was a trap, so to say. But what it inadvertently means is that this man is running away. And to add salt to injury, his media team or his campaign council, led by people you thought they had gray matters in between their skulls, now come out to tell the world that the reason why their principal is not able to come and debate is that they don't want to offend one media house against the other. You think this person or these people, if they are actually sound upstairs, why Nigerians must question their serenity is very simple. Because if someone who owns a TV station, he could actually organize it himself and invite others. Let it be, oh, it is being done by this TV station and you are not able, and others are not able to attend. But their excuse is, oh, once we attend Arise and others wouldn't. And you ask yourself, how many national televisions do we have? If you actually take out NTA, we have 3 main televisions in Nigeria. Take it or leave it, his might be one of them. So, does it mean he's not planning to attend beyond or not at all? Because if you take the 3 men, you can say that 3 of them can either actually organize it together or they do independently. 3 of them could do the same. But here is this same man not willing to attend. I think that should begin to worry Nigerians. That why is he avoiding this? My theory is that he is too sick or that he's too mentally unstable to withstand the questions that Nigerians and especially the younger ones will throw at him. That is only plausible reason that you can, try to fathom why a man at his own level would want to avoid something like that and rather go for an Owambe party, because that's what it is. He went for a party while the issues bedeviling the nation caused by his own party is being discussed. He runs away. No one is talking about the other one that's gone to Morocco, and people are insinuating that he could be gone there to shop for another wife. But that is not the issue of conversation here. But it is, and it's something that must worry Nigerians, and everyone who has a PVC must be taking note and ensure that if they cannot speak to you now that you have not given them your vote, what would they do to you if you give them your vote? The one you are suffering now is it not enough? You have someone that flood has taken over it's 60 to 80% of the whole Nigerian space, rather than to come and empathize with you and see and feel your pain. He ran away to South Korea. In South Korea, he was telling them to help the people of Afghanistan, where only one province was bedeviled with flood. As if that pain is not enough, he came back and again without even visiting a single state, not even the one that is 45 minutes drive away from the Aso Rock. He couldn't do that, and again he ran away to the United Kingdom to go receive medical treatment that he cannot afford to give you and I here at home. Isn't this telltale signs that Nigerians, it is time to wake up? If you do not wake up now and you make that same mistake again, come 2023, you may then have to pay for your president to ever speak to you, because he never spoke to you while he was canvassing for your vote. If a man feels too big to engage you when you have not employed him this is, Nigerians must look at it this way. You are looking for someone who is going to come and manage a $1 trillion company as a CEO, and you want to go employ someone who thinks you are beneath him, that you are not supposed to interview him before he gets that job, then I wither, and I don't want to think about the consequences and what it will be like if that man ever gets in and become your CEO without you questioning him and trying to understand his competencies before he takes over running the affairs of the company, quote unquote, in question, the Nigerian PLC. It is shame that this is happening repeatedly. This has happened before, it has happened again, it's happening again, and now the only nonsensical excuse they could come up with is that he doesn't want to offend others. Then we say to you, then let your own station arrange it. Why are you running? As the Nigerian street balance will say. It is a bad omen, people. Let all beware. Thank you very much. Mazezoke is my name.
Okay, thank you very much, Mazi. Michael?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. And good afternoon, Mazi. Been quite a few days. Tinubu doing debates. Well, the truth about the matter is that he's not going to attend any debates now. I think you guys finally have noticed that he would not attend any debate under any circumstance. Where you definitely meet Tinubu, you meet him definitely in an echo chamber of a studio or a confined space where he's been prepped for weeks as to what to say, an edited video by the best hands money can afford. Somebody once said, every 4 years, God does a bonanza every 4 years in Nigeria. And the 4 years why he does it every 4 years is because, it's either you get in on the act. And he does it before every election, every 4 years. Because the idea is just to do a bit of bonanza from heaven to give everybody any value of common sense. Tinubu will never, at least as far as my brother told me a few months ago, will never show up on any live TV program, not even on TVC. You can take that to the bank. The election is just what? You close your eyes and open it. You meet yourself in December, you close your eyes and open it. You meet yourself in January, and here we are. February is not so far off as we think. Buhari has already shown you 7 years of what Tinubu would look like. So, to me, like I've always said, one of the biggest pretenders in this election are people who will tell you, oh, they don't have a candidate or they are sitting on the fence. Those are the biggest liars ahead for 2022. Anybody who cannot beat his chest and tell you, look, I'm supporting Kwankwaso. Oh, look, I'm supporting Obi. Look, I'm supporting Tinubu, even if I don't have good reasons. But anybody telling you that I'm sitting on the fence, what do you want to say? Really, what do you want to tell anyone? This man went partying yesterday as a result of engaging the electorate. What does that tell you? Is that he's not sick. That's one. Nobody sick goes to a party.
Is it me or that we lost
secondly,
connection? Sorry.
Okay. Am I still audible? Hello?
Madrid.
Hello?
Anybody
Am I still audible?
hear us?
I can hear you, but
yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we are listening to Michael, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's in, so call someone else to speak. It appears his connection is not working.
No, Michael is speaking, I guess.
I'm still audible. Am I still audible? I'm hearing different. I'm hearing conflict. Somebody saying he's hearing me. The other say you're not hearing me. I don't know which it is.
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So, like I was saying, somebody who's sick doesn't attend parties. So we can actually wipe off You know, we've made all the excuses we actually can make. I haven't,
I'm
but I've heard
surprised
all
you
of
can
it.
hear him. That must be a spiritual talk because I can't.
Okay, they've attacked from body long. Anyway, so please, if anyone can hear me, you could just give me a thumbs up or something, so I don't waste, our time here. Okay, so at least I'm audible to one person, two people. Okay, well, that speaks for me. So either way, let's look at all the reasons why he shouldn't go. Okay, what reasons have been made in the past for Mr. Tinubu? He's not been feeling well. Sick people don't go to parties. That's a fact. Check. Okay, what next? He had a party to attend. Okay, having a party to attend as against engaging the Nigerian people, which you were given a date for to attend. What that simply means is a party is more important than the Nigerian people. Check. What more do you want? I mean, is this guy really looking for votes? No, I don't think so. This guy is campaigning on the grounds of him wanting to be president, and we should really find out from INEC what's really going on. Do you really say this election is as foolproof as you think, as it should be? Because I really don't understand how these guys intend to campaign and people will still vote for them and they'll win. This is just the thing. Like, for me, I've only selected two candidates in this election. It's Peter Obi and Peter Obi. So how Peter Obi will lose to Peter Obi is really what I want to find out. I really am looking forward to it. You get? So I really don't see what it is. Peter Obi versus Peter Obi is the election going forward. So if Peter Obi loses to Peter Obi and someone else wins, that's exactly what I want to see happen in 2023. I want to see that miracle happen. Because I don't seem to understand what part of this world we all live in. Nigerians live in Nigeria, but they live in some other country in their head. I really don't get it. Tinubu is not going to attend any election. I mean any debate. Atiku, likewise, is equally going to play on Tinubu's cards. And this is just going to be what it is going forward. There is no way to explain this, my brothers and sisters. I really don't get it. If there was a superior explanation as to what an excuse is, I don't want to read any official statement coming from anyone. That official statement should have come out a few days before that particular debate. That release was supposed to be out before then. And make sense out of it. Oh, and for the fact that whatever you wrote came out, so what next? I feel, my own thought, is that Peter Obi should stop attending. This is not about him being, he's not me anyway. I know he will keep doing the right thing. And at some point, he'll get to his breaking point. And they'll make a big deal out of it that very day. Time will come, that guy will break, he will snap. Peter Obi at some point will snap. At some point, he did that to a certain Dino Melaya yesterday. At some point, this guy will snap, and that is what the whole of them will jump on. Just wait for it. But the truth about the matter is that the earlier he does it, the better for us. The earlier he does it, the better for us. Write out a statement coming from the Labour Party. It doesn't have to be through Peter Obi directly. It should come from the Labour Party. Now, look, there's what you call a vice presidential debate. When that time comes, please let all vice presidential candidates send their presidential candidates to go and represent them. There's what you call a vice presidential debate. It happens. Have we forgotten? So when that time comes, why is it not convenient to actually get the presidential candidate to represent the vice presidential candidate? These things keeps getting worse and we don't know. If I were the Labour Party chairman and the Labour Party, I would write a statement to the effect to all media houses that this has got to stop. And if there is no need for it, that you just want to do like a one-on-one question and answer, a Q&A session, just like Buhari did in 2019. Avoiding any sort of crossfire with another candidate. Good and fine. Let's know that this is what we will come to you wherever you are, or you come to us however it goes. But let this nonsense stop. I yield my mic at this time. I think other people have other things to say, to add to this point. Thank you very much.
All right. For purposes of clarity, let us read the official explanation of the Bola Tinubu camp on why Tinubu did not attend. A statement issued by Festus Keyamo says, firstly, many radio and TV networks in Nigeria have indicated interest to host such debates. And out of deference to other TV and radio stations, our candidate will not be making selective appearances in some networks whilst ignoring others. Then secondly, the busy and hectic campaign schedules of Asiwaju Tinubu will not permit him to honor all such invitations by different radio and TV networks. Hence, our decision for him not to start with one TV station and later ignore others. Thirdly, Bola Tinubu now realized the importance of speaking directly to Nigerians, and shortly after unfolding his action plan as president, embarked on town hall meetings, beginning with this interaction with the business community and other stakeholders. Tomorrow, that is today, he will be interacting with agro and commodity groups in Mina, Niger State. So, are these reasons genuine?
Sorry, can I say something? Is that the full?
Okay.
Is that the full statement? Was that the full statement?
Yeah, those are the 4 reasons given. Others are the usual palliatives, but these are the 4 reasons they gave for not attending officially.
So everything you've said there is a contradiction. I can't hear. I'm hearing it for the first time, but I still can't hear the reason. There isn't a reason. You listed 4 things, right? I can't hear one. I cannot. You're running for president. I still can't hear one. When these people mistake, they only look for the smartest of the idiots they have to come up with something in gobbledygook to just whitewash who? Can you make sense out of anything he said? You're running for president. It is not an option. If you're invited, you show up. If you're invited, you show up. It is not for you to handpick. There is nowhere written that you will be able to handpick. Nowhere. Everybody is running for the same presidency, the same Kwankwan. So everybody would have a big schedule. There are 774 local governments, but you'll be able to go around all of them to campaign. Am I correct? What would you? Okay, this state I would go, or this state I would not go. Oh, I have a certain business here, or I have a certain thing. You see where I'm coming from? I never wanted to read it because I would not see anything in it. Sorry, thank you.
All right. The Prince, what do you make of the 4 reasons given by the APC campaign council on why Tinubu failed to honor yesterday's Arise TV interview? Or Amakul, do you want to speak on this or on any other thing?
I think what he has just read now, to me, is totally nonsense, because I don't see whereby you said one person invited you and the others 2 are going to invite you over too by skipping one and going to one. You don't want to skip one, then go to one. No, once you are being invited, you should show up. That's the reason for being a president. At least if you are being invited to come for a program or a debate like this, you should go. Then we'll be able to see your impact. We'll be able to see what you can do when you get to that very office. I think that's my own suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Amaku also indicated he wanted to speak on this or on any other issue. The one thing I noticed about in the UK, for instance, the election debates was not popular until very much recently. But in the US, it is it's part of the election procedure. It is a must. It's taken as a must traditionally. But when it came into the tradition of campaign in the UK, a sitting prime minister used to ignore and refused to engage in such debates, but not anymore. Because by ignoring and refusing to attend, it has electoral consequences. So in Nigeria now, we are the ruling party. We are the ruling party, so to say, because Tinubu belongs to the ruling party. We are the ruling party. Ignores invitation to attend in debates. We remember Buhari in those days. I think in 2019, Buhari debated against himself, where he ignored the debates, and then later attended and debated against himself alone. Can Tinubu afford to do that? That's basically my question. Can he afford to? Will there be electoral consequences for the APC this time if Tinubu ignores the invitation to debate with his fellow candidates for Nigeria to properly assess them side by side? Because if there are no electoral consequences, if he gets away with it, what do we think? Michael?
Electoral consequences, I don't think so. Electorally. But are there consequences? Yes, there are. And that consequence can only be fed by the most sensible of Nigerians at the polls. The most hot Nigerians at the polls. Yes. All you're doing is a blueprint of where we are. You're actually giving us a clear picture of if you could do this at this level, if you could do this at this level, how much more would you do when you're president? That's interpretation. But to answer your question directly, electorally, there are no penalties for this. Unfortunately, there isn't. And like I said, he wouldn't attend anything organized by the Nigerian public. Even organized by TVC, he would not be there. If it's not within a confined echo chamber, a clear echo chamber, where the rules are actually meant for him, set for him. Yeah, you are in his beck and call, under his umbrella. It's not going to happen. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not going to happen. Electoral consequences, hell no. There's no such. I think we're still a few generations away from that. I still believe so. Because I don't seem to understand how much further we can go. Electoral consequence, no. I don't see any. There isn't any. What are they going to do? Penalize him by what? Penalize him by 10,000 votes? No, there is none. Hey, he's called the bluff of everybody, and that's exactly what he's doing. If he's not even going to attend any, it's not going to change the minds of people who are hell-bent on supporting him. So like I said, but are there consequences? Yes, there might be consequences to the few who still have an opinion, who still look towards him and have an independent opinion, ability to making the right decisions. Yeah, that might come from there, but nothing more than a sprinkle, a handful of thousands of people without, just think and say, okay, look, this guy isn't what we really think he is. And look at the mannequin in Abuja. He leaves the country at the slightest of doomsday reports. Anything that goes wrong, this guy is out of this country. Egg break for bus stop, this guy don't enter plane, go another country. You don't understand. So, I mean, look at the one trying to occupy his office. Any difference? No. So this is just my point. It's simple. It has to take people who just say, you know what, I think I'm done with this guy. I don't know how much further I can go. But how many really can they be? How many are there out there? So really, it's not going to make any significant difference. Honestly, that's just my 20 cents. Thank you.
If there will be no electoral consequences, I think that would be a dangerous development. And I think you made a very nice point. I remember the day Tinubu picked the APC ticket. I had this conversation with a sitting APC senator. I was like, wow, how can you guys pick Tinubu? He said, why? I said, because from my information, that the guy appears to be sick. Is he healthy enough to shoulder the responsibilities of being the president of this country? His reply shocked me. He said, well, I should know that someone can be in a wheelchair and still be the president. And that's a sitting senator. Do we still have this belief that we had in 2010, where I think for the government minister that said that Yar'Adua can govern from his sick bed in Saudi Arabia? And then we saw it again under Buhari for 6 months. He was in London hospital, and people believed he can be the president from anywhere. Will Nigerians again accept a president that, to all intents and purposes, is bedridden, and then have another cabal kind of being a president on his behalf? Or is Tinubu's rumored health condition merely a rumor, that the guy is healthy? Do we think Tinubu is competent, healthy enough to govern a difficult country like Nigeria? Does he intend to have a debate around the country, around the 36 states of the Federation? Or is he merely dodging these debates for strategic reasons? Can Nigerians force an intending president to produce his health records so that they will be sure that we are not going to have another Yar'Adua or another Buhari, in fact? What will be the consequences for Nigeria if a sick president gets up there? In a country where a terrorist alert sent US diplomats scampering to safety, running away from the federal capital. In a country where floods are ravaging 33 states out of 36. In other countries, a national emergency will be declared. In the UK, for instance, they will immediately move into Cobra mode, where for 24 hours, the Prime Minister will be personally overseeing relief works. All the ministers, every other government activities will stop. And every minister's focus will be on that flooding alert when the country is in a Cobra mode. A national emergency is declared. Can't Nigeria, if Nigeria declares a national emergency of flooding, I understand we are not able to declare that emergency because Buhari feels that he has already become functions official. Buhari sees himself, I have done my part, I finished my presidency. I'm just waiting for May 29 to give you guys everything. I run away back to my London hospital. I think that is the mood he's in. But if we have a Tinubu president and he is sick, is that what we are going to witness for the next 4 years? In a country where dollar is getting to 1,000 naira per dollar, I think a national emergency should be declared. So can a sick president actually be in charge of such a national emergency? Can Nigeria afford another 4 or even 8 years of status quo? What will the country look like in the next 4 years? Will we still have a country? Will we degenerate into a militant state, regional militants occupying different regions, taking tributes from the citizens, from the markets, and everyone will be in chaos? What is happening in Haiti? Is that what we're going to witness in Nigeria in the next few years? If American intelligence is correct and accurate, that bandits are planning to take over the federal capital and take over the entire country, and we see no active president trying to stop that from happening, will Nigeria become another Somalia, another Afghanistan, another Libya, a country of 200 million unleashed against the world? Can the world cope? Pertinent questions, but no one giving us answers at all. Brand, your name get a CB from you, but I know I'm trying to brand. Can we hear from you?
It's Grandmaster here. Thank you so much.
Okay, Grandmaster. Sorry, I get it now.
Yeah, I need to change that font. Because I see a lot of people having issues, recognizing the name. But it's fine. Hi, my people. What's up, man? Michael, man, I see you. You tore the whole, topic to shreds. I mean, what else is there to say? But I just wanted to just make a couple points. You see, Nigeria is a very silly country. I say this and I say this with all, astuteness. Nigeria is a very, very silly country. Nigeria is a silly country because, you have an election as important as this 2023, upcoming 2023 election, and a specific presidential candidate finds himself not attending any of these, let's say town halls or any of these gatherings, simply because he feels he owes Nigerians no explanation. He owes you nothing. And somehow on this platform, you see people running around defending and still supporting this same person. The level of disdain, disregard that these people have for Nigerians, it is appalling. Honestly, it is appalling. Nigeria is just a silly country. Honestly, I don't know about other people, but I've looked around the globe. I have never seen a country as dysfunctional, as abnormal, as nonsensical as Nigeria is. Nothing works. Absolutely nothing makes sense in this country. This country churns out, intelligistias, intellectual people, churns out the best of brains and heads. But at the end of the day, if you look at how disorganized, how disoriented, how completely messed up and dysfunctional our country is, where black is called white, where bad is called good, where everything is just upside down. You keep asking yourself, what exactly is wrong with this country? Initially, I used to think that this was actually a problem with us as a black race. Let me use the word race. But I mean, over the years, I've started to believe that no, this is actually a problem with just Nigerians. Because if you take a look across Africa, you see the changes taking place across Africa. Nations have been coming together, putting behind and besides their differences, ethnic, religious, regional differences, and forging a common future for their country to just, leapfrog into the 21st century. But somehow Nigeria is stuck in the past. Look at Rwanda. Rwanda suffered a brutal civil war in 1994. But today, if you go to Rwanda, they don't even identify themselves as Tutsi or Hutu or whatever you want to call them. Everyone simply identifies themselves as Rwanda. Rwanda is looking like paradise when compared to Nigeria. Nigeria is just a complete nonsensical mess of a country. We are all out here screaming, giant of Africa, but we are just trash. It is very painful to witness. And unfortunately, a lot of the people who are in there don't see this because they are looking inside out. A lot of us who have been out there in the world see how things work. These things are not rocket science. These just work. When you look at, when you see other countries, how they function, and then you look back at Nigeria, you ask yourself, why exactly is this thing not working here? People are actually waking up this morning to troll the Labour Party presidential candidates, people who their presidential candidate is not even present at the town hall meeting. Laugh at them, actually claim that this is such a masterstroke in politicking that this person did. You have the responsibility to come out there and speak to the people that you intend to lead, for God's sake. But somehow you have this level of disdain and disregard for these people. These people mean nothing to you. To you, they are just numbers. They mean nothing, absolutely nothing. Tomorrow is the midterm election in the US. Obama was campaigning the entire last week, the entire last 2 weeks. This man was springing from one state to the next, from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts. He was jumping from there to Minnesota. This man is not on the ballot, for God's sake. Obama is not on the ballot anywhere. He's the next president. But this man is out there, Democrats bringing out their big guns, the Republicans bringing out their big guns, everyone shooting because they know at the end of the day, the final decision rests on these people. And Americans don't vote with their welfare. I'm sorry, they don't joke with their welfare. You understand? When they tell you we don't want you, they don't want you. The Democrats are scared that they are going to be decimated tomorrow because of the state of the economy. And mind you, Joe Biden has done everything possible to assuage their fear. He has even gone as far as going to Saudi Arabia to beg them, to increase the production of oil, just to make sure that his country buys oil at that $2.99 a gallon that they used to buy. I just came back from US like a couple of weeks ago. In the US, when I got there, I was looking at the price of oil. The price of gas there was simply $3.99, and these people are unsatisfied. Here in Europe, I'm buying a single liter of fuel as I'm talking to you now. I'm using the E10 because my car uses an E10. And an E10, which is the cheapest of fuel, I'm buying it for €1.99. Mind you, the euro has lost a little bit of value when you compare it to dollar. So I'm spending almost 4 times what the Americans are spending just to buy just to buy 4 liters of fuel. In America, a gallon is 4 liters and it's just $3.99. But these people are still unsatisfied. They are telling the Democrats, we are going to wipe you out in this midterm election coming up tomorrow. And the Democrats are on their knees begging. They are begging. Obama is out there begging them. Go and listen to the speech he dropped on Friday. His closing remark in Pennsylvania when he was campaigning for what's his name? Fetterman and the other guy, I forgot his name, the Jewish guy. These are people who actually have regard for their people. But in this country, in this Nigeria, for God's sake, you see the mockery they make. And people, I just came off a space. I mean, this space was so triggering. I had to walk out of there. Someone came up on is about is this Ayo, whatever he calls himself, Ayo or whatever he calls himself. This guy called Peter to be a scammer. He simply went out there. The topic of this space is Atiku Abubakar, the president of 2023. And people were coming up there. People had the audacity to come up in there and say that Peter Obi is a regional president, that he is using Labour Party as a regional president. I was asking myself, excuse me, for God's sake, wasn't Labour Party existing for Labour Party has been existing for more than 10 years in Nigeria? And Peter Obi just joined this party about 5 months ago. How is it that Labour Party all of a sudden becomes the original party? You people really have not come to terms to tell Nigerians what your issue is with the Southeast. You haven't said it because you are ready to drink that poison and die on it as long as it is served by someone for your place. Look at a man who has been going around the country talking to you with empathy and sympathy, trying to make you understand that things have to change. You can't keep doing this nonsense that you're doing, expecting different results. But for some reason, people are actually out there carrying water for criminals, miscreants like Tinubu and Atiku, actually beating their chest and saying, this is the person I'm going to vote. Nigerians, are we cursed? Look at Tinubu, don't you? Let me tell you, somebody said that because he is probably having a health problems. He's not. Probably he's having health problems. But did you see yesterday while that debate, that town hall was going on, he was in a birthday party laughing. He had the strength and the energy to go to a birthday party, galvanize with other people over there, dance around. But he felt this disdain that he does not he's not on the same level as Peter Obi or Kwankwaso or whoever else is there, maybe Kola Abiola. That's why he doesn't want to grace that place. He is able to come to that town hall, but he doesn't want to do it because he feels he's bigger than all of them. These people believe that this presidency, this position is their birthright. When look at what their national youth leader is tweeting, for God's sake. Whether you like it or you don't like it, Tinubu is going to be your president. So for God's sake, Nigerians are just pawns in your hands. You have no regard for them. I mean, even if you want to do this, can't you at least try to disguise yourself? Try to hide the stupidity that you project out there. What do you mean by Nigerians are going to have Tinubu like that? So you're trying to tell you indirectly that your vote means nothing to them. Go to the USA and tell the Americans that whether they like it or not, that Trump is going to be their president, and see what the consequences will be. These are countries where people actually mean something to their people. In this country, they treat Nigerians like trash. See, I'm telling Nigerians this, and I'm saying this with all my... Listen, I have never been involved like this in politics because, honestly speaking, I have nothing, absolutely nothing to gain from Nigeria. But I go to Nigeria, I see the level of pain people are in. The usually happy faces turn to sadness. People are down. People are completely messed up. And I'm doing this because I believe that this is all I can contribute to make this country work. But honestly speaking, if Nigerians are not ready to save themselves, honestly speaking, I will never, ever in my life waste anymore. Because it seems like you are just pouring water on ordinary rock. No matter what you do, people are just going to do what they want to do because of ethnic inclination, or maybe religious inclination. I mean, what kind of rubbish nonsensical country is this? People can't even help themselves, even when they have the opportunity to do it. They have the opportunity to do it. You know what the antecedents of this man are. Peter Obi has demonstrated over and over again that he's a man with empathy and sympathy. He hear what he said yesterday, that if there's a flood in Bayelsa, as a commander-in-chief, he will go to Bayelsa and live there and sleep with them until that flooding recedes. Excuse me. That was what he said. Nobody, no leader in Nigeria has ever uttered such words. People are here promoting, telling me that Atiku is a unifier. This man just came back from Dubai a couple of days ago. He comes back every 4 years to come and contest. That is the level of disdain he has for you. He can't even stay in the same country as you. He sees you as pawns. He comes in here, gets your vote, he loses, he goes back because you mean nothing to him. Absolutely nothing to him. What is the value? What is the wealth that an Atiku has created that has impacted Nigerians? That you are telling that Atiku is president of 2023. What is the value that Tinubu has created? What is the wealth that he has created that has impact? Listen, sometimes even if you cannot do certain things, try and attempt to show that you care. Hope goes a long way. People today believe in Obama. Obama is the biggest guns that the Democrats have. When things get rough, they bring out Obama. Why? Because Obama sold hope in 2008. And ever since then, Americans of all, let's say, creed, ethnicity, and religion has never lost that hope in Obama, even though he's not a president anymore. You know, they call him the president of change and hope. Whenever things get rough and Democrats find themselves in hot water, they bring out their big gun. Who is Obama? And Obama will come and then tear everywhere up. And then you see people going out to vote. And once you go out there and get your vote and, vote, and people will get up immediately and start mobilizing. I just spoke to my sister-in-law. She's a Black American. Okay, and I was asking her, hey, Kisha, what's up? What's going on? She's like, man, we are all mobilizing. I talked to her on Saturday. They said Obama told us on Friday to get out there and mobilize and vote. That she's out there going from door to door. This is people who project hope. People who project, I don't know, something that you can believe in. Our leaders just see Nigerians as pawn is so painful, and these people just go and keep believing in them. What is going on, Nigerians? What is going on? Other African countries have left you behind. You are done. You are done, for God's sake. You are at a freaking crossroad. It is now or never. You are not going to get this opportunity again. I told someone this morning that, listen, these people have seen the disruption that the obedient movement has created in this election cycle, and they are going to ensure that this never repeats itself. If you make the mistake of ever handing the power over to these people, they will ensure that there will never be any voice like the obedient movement ever again. They are rattled. They are scared. They don't know what 2023 is going to be. The dynamics have shifted. And they are scared. Before they will tell you this is going to happen, like it or not. Today, they don't know what is going to happen in 2023. They might have some level of confidence in their rigging or in their machinery, in using violence to control the people. But they don't know what the people are capable of. That's why they are still scared. But if you make the mistake of handing your mandate to these people or not even voting, you have created a dynamic that will last forever, because this will never happen again. This obedient movement will never happen again. You have the right to go out there and vote. Get your PVC. Go out there and make a statement. This ranting that we are doing on Spaces, this noise we are always making on Spaces, these Spaces we keep having, this mockery is going to be too much. It's going to be a waste if we don't make this change last. The truth is that Obi is a decent man. You know it. I know it. Deep within you all you Nigerians, you know it, that he's a good man. You know that he's a good man. People who don't keep ridiculing this man, look at the level of insult and ridicule they threw at this man yesterday. He kept on. Did you hear what he said? I have been taking this thing for you since I came here, Dino. Why always me? It broke my heart, but I'm a strong person. I had to keep my emotion in check. He said, why always me? So the man knows what is going on, that he is a target in that town hall. But he kept on keeping his composure just to ensure that he projects that image of hope to Nigerians. They are against this guy. Look at when he went on that what do you call it? The meeting we had on Zoom. He told Jack, if they have to close your account, you don't know what I'm going through. All he has is us. He has nothing else. This man is going through a lot just to ensure that the betterment of Nigeria is the priority going 2020, going to 2023. But Nigerians are mocking him. Do you know who Obi is? Do you know how rich this guy is? This guy built a house he was living in when he was still in university, in undergraduate years. He's a multi-billionaire, for God's sake. And he has given all this up just to fight for the common people for once, and level of mockery. People are mocking Nigeria by not coming to interview. Let me tell you, there's not going to be any election consequences for this Tinubu not coming to interviews. You know, they know this man has not to, they are just trying to package, and then put him in Aso Rock. You know, someone told me that Tinubu is a master politician and he has created people who are like this. And I asked the person one question. Please answer this question for me. Who brought Tinubu? Brought Buhari? He is this guy who is so skilled at scouting the best heads and the best professionals. Why did he bring a Buhari? If he's so good, all the people who are going to make up his cabinet and they in this present administration already, Abike Dabiri, a complete ethnic bigot. Is it going to be someone like what's his name, the former governor of Lagos State, who has failed in his own ministry to the point that they had to remove him from there? Is it going to be Ngige, a complete mess, threat people in a meeting? These are the same people that will come back again and continue this nonsense, this cycle of mess. Nigeria is a nonsensical country. I say that, in my future. You can call it that I'm not patriotic.
All right, thank you.
Let me round up, my brother. Let me round up. You can see I'm not patriotic. I don't give a damn. But I've told Nigerians, listen, I've told Nigerians, I'm saying this again, you can do whatever you want to do. This fight, I will do it only once. I will never repeat it again. If Nigeria fails in 2023, I will turn my back on Nigeria forever. I will come back knowing that forever I will be fine. And you all are going to suffer the consequences of your decision. David Huney has been hammering it since morning that everyone is going to suffer the consequences of this election, their decision. You think it's a joke. You don't know what's coming up in the next couple of years.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother. I'm very angry, but let me just chill.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we take someone else? You've made your point passionately. I think let me bring in Emeka. Would you hear Emeka, please?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody, or wherever, which part of the world you're in. I think I'll be very brief. This discussion is why is Tinubu doing it? Okay, so I'll just try to say something in that regard. Tinubu is doing what he thinks is in his best interest. If he thinks he has more to gain by participating in the debate, he will do that. If he thinks he has more to lose by participating in the debate, why should he participate? It's as simple as that. Now, what next? Okay. If we think that the voters need to know more about the candidates by their getting involved in the debate, and a candidate does not want to do that, then it's the voters that we should be addressing in this regard. In other words, trying to remind them that somebody who wants to be your president doesn't want to talk to you, and see how that could influence their vote. It's as simple as that. Tinubu, they have made it public, and I knew before that he wouldn't participate in the debate. So there's no need worrying about he participating or not. The key thing will be to now know that he wouldn't participate. What is the consequence? If we think that the voters matter, then we should get the voters to show by their voting. If not, if we think that the voters don't care, so be it. So don't waste our time about AB participating or not. But as a rational human being, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And that instance, do what is an advantage. He has more to lose by participating than by not participating. I think that's just what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emeka. Thank you. Obviously, that's another angle to it that we need to explore. It appears to kind of consider as an insult. So maybe that is a trajectory that is going to help us look more into that before we start this space. The Prince, you may have the floor now, Prince.
I think we are being brainwashed because if not for being brainwashed, why will I vote for someone that is not capable? I think, for an example, my friends, they are a party member of APC, and I think they support this party to an extent that they convince people to like vote for these party members. And I think we are being dumped because if not for dump, I think we know the right person to vote for. But because of this little peanuts they are going to give you, you sell out your vote and vote for someone that will destroy this nation more and more. Let's take a good look at this. Why is it that whenever we approach election season, there is always fall in naira? Our naira fall to an extent that even we are ashamed that what's wrong with this country? Can this country develop more than this? How can we appreciate this naira? Why is this naira depreciating upon all the resources being exploited out? You see, this thing made me look bad. It keeps burning in my heart that why can't we change our mindset? Why can't we do something good for ourselves by voting for someone that is capable, that can lead us through this Red Sea? I call it Red Sea because we are all Israelites, and we need someone that can take us to that promised land, that can lift this country to a better one, not turning things around. I think this man thinks is over us. I think he's trying to show that I don't care. Even though you vote, I don't care. If you don't vote, I don't care. I think I had my voters registration during March or February or so, and I was supposed to collect this plastic card September 9. My sister was supposed to collect that is September 16th, but up till now, this voters card has not been shared. Why? Why are they still keeping this when they've scheduled the date for collection? At least they should start sharing this thing so people can have this thing in hand. Even though to me, I think even voting, I think the vote won't count because let's take a good look at this manipulation. These people can manipulate. They can do and undo. Even though we think the voting is electronic means, but that doesn't guarantee us that our vote will be counted. I think this is all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Prince. Can you quickly unmute, please? Amako, please. Prince, please mute. Amako, please.
Hello, good afternoon. I wish to dispose that position of the Prince. You know, let's cite the situation of Anambra State's last gubernatorial election. Your votes will count. Of course, when Hope Uzodinma came to Anambra State, he made a lot of comments, you know, such as they were going to use the seen and unseen, you know, powers to see that they clinched Anambra State. But the use of beavers, obviously, you have seen in most cases that it has proved to be credible. Just that one of my problem with it is that we are not sure if truly the electoral register is clean from all this fake registration, just as they were approved, as they were allegedly saying that, you know, the CUPP, Coalition of United Political Party, were fingering the Imo State government and the federal government of all those things. So your votes will count. I don't want anybody to carry that mentality or that thinking that our votes will not count. Everybody's vote is still going to count. The only thing you need to do on that day is that you need to vote. You need to come out on that day, vote, make sure you defend your votes. That's the only thing I think is there. And, be your own INEC official. You don't need anybody to pay you as anything to stand there. You have to protect and defend your vote. Now, coming to the issue of Tinubu not attending presidential debates, obviously that is not a surprising thing to me, because back in 2014, 2019, we all saw what our incumbent president Muhammad Buhari did. He never attended any presidential debates. He never attended any live live interviews, and probably, let's say unfortunately, he won. So I believe that Tinubu is trying to follow that track, believing that this time around that he's still going to win. Of course, when we talk about, let's talking about idealism, a ruling party should have, a great spot in this election. Of course, every ruling party has a great spot in presidential election. I'm not surprised that he's not attending. He goes to where he feels that he can gather votes. And judging by what he has been doing recently, he feels that all these people who are in APC, both the governor, the senators, the local government chairmen, the councillors, and all those things, are the people that are going to get votes for him. Because obviously APC and PDP has been known over time and time for money sharing. So they believe that their money can do a lot for them. So I'm not surprised at that. So the only thing that we need to do is that we need to shake the scorecard. This is one of the things we need to look at. And when you look at some of Tinubu's support, I begin to laugh at them because they don't know what is coming. Some of them are just clouded by sentiments. Some of them are just clouded by ethnicity, that we want to vote our own. Let's put our own. He's a Yoruba man. I can't leave a Yoruba man and go and vote Igbo man. That is nonsense for me. No region in Nigeria is buying rice for 5,000 or 10,000. Everybody is suffering this whole suffering. Even the North is crying. Insecurity and all those things are ravaging there. So when politicians have put in religion, ethnicity, and all those things in place to buy themselves votes, even in states, here in Anambra State, we normally see different senatorial districts fighting for who should become the governor. The Anambra will not tell you that they are the people that are going to become they are the people that is supposed to, have the candidates for the governorship election. Anambra Central will tell you that they are the people. So even in different states, politicians tend to put in that division in order to sway votes to their own side. So we have to overlook all those things. Of course, in Nigeria, nobody is having a better off of today. Everybody is suffering. So that is why I always tell people, you need to galvanize yourself. You need to, every doorpost, everywhere you stop, you need to tell people that there is a reason you need to vote coming 2023. You don't need to stand at the fence. Just like the other speakers say that, that he's always very angry when people say that they don't know who to vote. That is nonsense for me. Because you can't sit and, when the time comes, you have been clamoring for change. And now is the time for you to make that change. And you're not telling me that you don't know who to vote. So the awareness that is created today is something that is almost surprising to me, because the youth have become one of the
Sorry, I don't know if anybody can hear him, or is it mine again? But if that be the case,
I can't hear him.
okay. So if that be the case, we will be rounding up. Is the host still there? The host, are you still there? So that we'll round up quickly. Or is the the host also not available? Okay. Do we still have any further interventions so that we can quickly round up? Okay. In that case, we will be rounding up, and to round up will be, for me, the most critical part of this conversation this afternoon remains the statement made by Emeka Ugwoju. It has become apparent that Tinubu will not attend any of these debates. It appears that that is a strategy. And if that is a strategy, and Nigerians who are watching across the globe, who think that they are being taken for granted, and that those that ought to seek their votes sell their manifestos to them, tell them what they are going to do for them, empathize with them, and be there with them, appear at this moment in time to have a different thing in mind. The question that we must all take as our takeaway this afternoon will be, if that then be the case, what is the next action?
Let me
Okay.
ask them. Let me give my own answer, Mazi. One of the questions we grappled with here is whether there are electoral consequences for refusing to attend debates and let Nigeria know what you have in store for them. I think it behooves on all of us, especially those that have support groups and the Labour Party and the people who are leading the presidential campaign council of the Labour Party candidate, to now formulate a narrative based on facts about Tinubu's standing in this campaign, and use it in their grassroots outreach and use it in their mobilization strategy. The opposition does not want to engage you, so what are they hiding? Is he sick? Is he mentally sound? Are they prepared? So this narrative should go to Nigerians. Yes, it is possible that maybe they have a serious plan to subvert the people's will, but the task is here to tell Nigerians, be careful of these two people and get your PVC ready. I think that's my own suggestion. Is Mazi still here? That's what I would suggest, that those who are driving LP candidates campaign adopt. Nigerians should know what is going on and now seek to do something about it. Penalize these people using their PVC and not to take Nigerians for granted. PVC advocate?
Yeah, good afternoon. Hope I'm clear. Hello, I hope I'm clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay. What I see about this APC shenanigans is that they don't rate Nigerians at all, and they already zero their mind that with the stage at which the Nigerian election is now, you can hardly convince, that is, everybody knows his or her stand. That is, everyone that is watching TV yesterday knows his or her stand already. So they know that Tinubu going to Arise TV or going to any national TV to talk about what he has for Nigeria will be a disservice to APC. It will demarket them greatly, because when we've seen him before, whenever he's talking, is full of his words were incoherent. He's talking gibberish. He's talking about things that doesn't even make sense. So when you are watching someone like that on a national TV, and you are an educated person, because I believe that most people that have television at home and have the time to watch that debate yesterday, they are educated. So their target is those people that are uneducated at all, those that are illiterate, that they don't know what is what and what is not what. So, and they have that assurance that once they give out that money to them, then they can buy their way through. But it is now work for us to go out there and educate people that, see, these people are not ready to work for. We have to make that their what they think as an advantage to them. We have to turn it to a disadvantage for them, because that yesterday, that place that he went to at Abuja is a 10-minute drive from the place they had that birthday party to where they are having the debate. The place is a 10-minute drive to that place, which means that it's an absolute disgrace upon every Nigerian. It does not even count any Nigerian. It does not deem it fit. It feels maybe it's like God, that no one has the right to invite him and question him about anything, that he believes that he is so sure of that is election. And one thing I know is that when God wants to disgrace woman that is feeling like God, we know about Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible and other people like him in the Bible. When God wants to disgrace woman, he will make you feel like you are on top of the world, like no one is like you. Then he will now crash you down, such that when you crash down, people will tell the tales of your disgrace. So that is what I know, and that is what I know that God has in stock for him. So we have to turn that what is seen as an advantage to a disadvantage for him by sensitizing the people that this person is not ready to even to let you know what he has in stock for you. He's not ready to dialogue with you. He's not ready to tell you what is asked for you. And that is what I can say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will be rounding up any minute from now. But I see, let's allow Amaku. Amaku. Are you still with us?
Okay, I'm still around. Sorry, I was cut short then. I wanted to attend to something urgently. So, since you are all closing, I'll just make a closing remark and, so that we can all go. So the only thing I wanted to delegate on is that we need to play our cards well. Coming this 2020 election, this election is not all about being in the aspect of gaining money or collecting money from politicians to canvass for votes. We need to put in everything we've got, because this election is a game changer. So the only thing I'm wishing Nigeria is that we make it right last year. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, guys. It's been a very enlightening conversation. Why is Atiku dodging debates? Let's see what Atiku will do next time, so that we also see whether he will also dodge debates or not, or whether he will seek to speak through a proxy. Thank you, and have a good